Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Fruits Basket, episodes 15 and 16 of season 2. What happened last time?
Last time we had some stuff with Yuki where he, was constantly prioritizing other people and not himself. But Haru told him that he's focused on himself and the student council and, having other friends. And we got Haru confronting Shigure about Rain showing up at his house. And Shigure was like, yeah, but don't ask me about it. So we'll see what happens this time and if any more gets revealed about that.
Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get a month ahead on Uncuts, a week ahead on edited reactions. See the next episodes right now by going to patreon.com/podcast. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
She went back and told her. Escape to a foreign country, trained to be a housewife.
Was that Tohru's?
That was Ahana's.
Oh, really?
Oh
my god. Of course he dresses up for this. I don't think anyone wants you to settle down with a high schooler. She won't be in high school.
Wow. The real reason he wanted to come here.
Oh boy.
Shut up. Oh, wow.
So did they or didn't they? God damn it.
I'm feeling like they didn't.
I'm feeling like they didn't because she was behind, but also...
They should have gone to the to the parent teacher conference.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What the fuck was that? Did I miss something?
I don't think so.
Who was lying there with the thing over their face?
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? Somebody was lying there as if they were dead
We'll check that out after.
with like a blanket over their face. Maybe they were just sick?
I don't really listen to anything that guy says to you. Good advice.
Shisho.
That's so nice. I swear to God, if they get together. Get locked in a cage forever. Is he gonna say he's gonna take over for him?
The dojo.
Why is Shisho so good?
Throw it out the window.
We need a feast. Oh, was she the one that showed up after Rin and Haru left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
She's in
said,
some-
I think.
She's wearing like the same outfit. Coughing again. His shitty mom showing back up. You don't have your own opinions. No opinion matters unless it's the same one that I have.
にしなきゃ持ってることを。
ああ、無名と言ったのが気にすることはどうだっていいんです。
早く言葉に。
あなた、気楽でいいわ。
Wow.
早く。
子供を持つと大変なのよ。
早く。
自我ままで。この子なんてここを受ける受けないで揉めた時、すべて口を聞かなかったりしたのよ。
合うよ。違うよ。俺はただ外出るんだ。誰かにそそのかされたとかじゃないよ。
だって変じゃんと言い出して。
突然なんかじゃないよ。嫌なんだそう。今も嫌なんだよ。
あなた子供の頃から一度も嫌だなんて言ったことないじゃない。
これは道具。母さんの。
だったらなんだっていうの。だったらなんだっていうの。いい加減にして。十分。ご当主に気に入られて何が不満なの。
言葉が何の意味も持たず、力もなく、届かないまま死んでいくというのならば、言葉になんかしたくないって思ったんだよ。やあやあ諸君、またいうものは全くもって摩訶不思議だ。その目覚めを妨げた挙句触れないのだからね。だがもう心配ない。ユキ、弟、今まさに参上立てまつったよ。このバラはあなたに長い年の弟に道を女性教師のシチュエーションロマンまで与えたもん。素晴らしい。
Do you not remember who she is?
He probably does, but it's
少し静かにしてもらえまいか。ユキの大切な将来について魔をするなど愚の骨頂だ。
You and I are both a sensitive sort.
wow.
になる人だよ、兄さんは。そりゃめちゃくちゃなところも多いけど、ろくでもなくなんかないよ。やめろ。あんたに報告するのはやめろ。メールにことだよ。おやおや、兄弟に映っているかい？わからないかい？ユキはね、やり直すチャンス。あなたに対しても無だったものが優に転じ始めているんだよ。わからないのかい？今のあなたはまるで昔の僕の大切なものを踏み荒らし生きてきたか。気づかずにいる。
なんで私が親に向かってこんな侮辱ってないわ。
I doubt you have with how you behave.
Yeah.
I've never had anyone say this to me. Yep, that tracks to me.
俺、行ってくる。おやおや、大丈夫かい
Better than me.
ありがとう。
That shows more bravery than I ever would. I would have said, fuck that bitch.
聞いてくれた。鳥さん、どうしたのにグレさんから聞いたのさ。もうあの男は
Smart.
いやいや、しかしお疲れ様だったね。面白い人だろう。お金や地位が好きという一風変わった感性の持ち。この僕の天性な王の気質に待って
Royal.
言わざるを母親なのにね。だからこそ母君の期待は根こそぎ抜きにしてしまった。後悔が先に立ってくれればいいのに。
頼りになるって。
母さん、
That's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
何言っておくけどあなたこのままだと人
Push
生
her down the stairs.
Yeah,
この人は
do it.
こんなに小さな人だったろうか。でもこんなに細く。子供の頃はあんなに大きく感じていたの。人に見放されたら、突き放されたら、全てが色をなくしてが終わると思っていたんだ。俺はこの世界で生きてて、参加するためには努力だって必要だよ。努力をしたいって思って。あなたには気に入らないものになるのかもしれないけど、俺にとって誇りになるように。だから勝手に俺の人生を決めつけて終わりにしないでほしい。進学はするよ。でもどこを受けるかは自分で考えて見つけるから。会長、探したんですからね。ちょっと来てくださいよ。早く。
And she's wearing the hair thing that he gave to her too.
行ってきます。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
仕事になりません。やってんだバカ
羽鳥君こそいつもご苦労様ですよ。
Classic. It's just I feel like he got spotted in the hall and then he was like, come and join the school defense course, and he was like, of course I will. Or he was just like, let me return to my old place of the student council. Let me see what has become of it. And then they see him. Oh my god. I love how he has his like most dramatic outfit yet for this entrance. What a good episode.
Yeah. I don't think anyone will top the catharsis that I felt from Ayame coming in and just completely toppling the whole situation.
Mm-hmm. His mom, he doesn't even tell her to move out of the chair. She just gets out of the chair because she's just like, ah! She just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Mom's such a... She comes in and is just like a total power play.
Yeah.
But then when Ayame comes in, then she just immediately loses her entire footing and can't do anything and then just runs away.
I will say, like, I know people like that in real life and they're just that insufferable, but I feel like they were a little bit heavy-handed with just the amount that she was that bad. It's kind of like how, it's like, oh, Akito's meant to be, like, a piece of shit, and so let's have him do as many piece of shit things as possible. She was the same thing here where, but it was just so...
condensed.
It's clear that, like, okay, we have a limited amount of time to get across, like, the kind of person that she is. So let's have her in one line of dialogue say like 10 different things unprompted that, like, don't have anything to do with what was going on, just to illustrate the exact kind of person that we're trying to get across here. I feel like if it was a little bit more subtle, it would have gone a longer way for me. And it feels a little bit... I'm not Japanese, but, like, usually the differences in this situation, like, I would expect a Western teacher, if they were here, like, a teacher at my school, if they heard, like, a parent talking that way to their child, to be like, I don't think that's appropriate for you to be acting that way. I feel like and maybe I just I'm talking out of my ass, so, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but, like, the way that Mayu stepped in was just like, I don't think it's all right for you to be speaking that way. And then they get in a little cat fight there. Mm-hmm. That to me felt a little bit unrealistic. And it's like, if it wasn't Mayu, nobody would have said anything. But because it's Mayu and it's a character that we know, then mm-hmm. you know, she's saying something.
She just seems like she's more of that kind of person anyway. Like, I do get what you're saying. Like, normally, it seems like the teacher wouldn't cross that boundary with a student's parent. But I do think that because she, like... And I also don't know whether maybe she would have, like, to another random student, but also she's more heavily involved with the somas and, like, the whole, like, everything that's going on there. Yeah. So she might feel a little bit more inclined to speak up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But she...
I'm not saying it's out of character for her. It just feels like how I was saying, you know, they were a little bit heavy-handed with Mom's character and, like, trying to really get across, like, the exact kind of person she was, rather than kind of being a little bit more subtle. It's like she was all out, full bitch mode, zero, like, the whole... I guess like the thing is it's all about, like, this. If she's all about the social status, mm-hmm. it makes her look really small and pathetic to everybody, to, you know, be as outlandishly, obviously manipulative and abusive as she's being verbally in public. Like, it wouldn't be good for her image. And I feel like that boundary of, like, if she cares so much about that, for her to just go over the top and just be the worst possible person. I'm not saying, like I said, I know people like that, but based on my experience with I know someone actually a lot like this. It's like, it's not as obvious, like, oh, what? Oh, so yeah, it must be hard to get to not having kids at your age, you know? It's just like, oh, is that why you're a teacher? It's like, okay, if it had escalated to that, then I could see that go. But she said one little thing, and then she immediately goes out and says like 10 different things, and it felt a little bit more like they were really trying to push that, and it worked. I mean, like she is the type of character that, you know, I'm describing, but like, I just feel like it could have been a little bit more subtle and gone just as far. I guess, I don't know. Especially contrasting when Ayame comes in, because they're both in this whole argument. It's very overt and very like they're overtly sort of just begin arguing and being like that sort of thin veneer of professionalism and station or whatever. Despite it meaning a lot to Yuki's mom, supposedly, she doesn't seem to adhere to any kind of pride at all. She just immediately sort of tears it down. And it's for the effect of the scene. And so that and because there's a limited amount of time to go through it, and because they want to fully explore everything that she, you know, all of the parts of her character that they want to there. But I feel like Ayame, I think, still hit really hard. This is nitpicky. I'm not saying this is like a huge deal or like totally breaking or anything. I guess like, I don't know. I'm just thinking of ways that it could have been improved, I guess. But at least in my opinion. And then Ayame coming in being super over dramatic. Like they were already being super dramatic. They weren't like I feel like the shock of Ayame coming in with his he's got a bouquet of fucking 36 roses, got this suit like Victorian outfit on, and like super over the top and crazy, but they were already being very like a little bit more over dramatic.
Yeah, I see what you mean. If there had just been more of a contrast, like a little bit more subtle, like the mom had been like more
offhanded,
like more casually
more passive
insulting.
aggressive,
like
rather than,
I can see how you might have taken offense to my comments,
like that kind of thing. And maybe that was a subs thing.
Yeah,
like I said, if that was me, there's no fucking way I would have gone after her there and like tried to appeal to her. And I don't know how to feel about it, because like I don't know how to feel about it, because to me the answer is to say fuck her, but also that's not as I feel like like he still is trying to appeal to her and make things good, and in a way that's admirable. But but again, it goes back to the thing of and okay. The first thing, it's like, it could be just that he's falling into that pattern of abuse that he had felt with her and like feeling small. But I feel like the whole point of it was he overcame it.
Yes.
And then he chased after her and then still tried to mend fences.
But
the problem that I have with that is that she has, as far as we've seen, like, I don't imagine we'll see much more of their relationship going back. But we haven't seen a single thing that makes me think that she is deserving of that whatsoever, which makes me think that it's like this sort of idea is, you know, he's being the bigger person. That's why he grabs onto her shoulder. She's like, oh, she's so small. It's like he's now the bigger person, so he's going to be the bigger person. Whereas I personally don't think that that's a good thing whatsoever.
I don't think that he's going after her to appease her. I think he's going after her
to mend the relationship. That's what I just said.
But also to stand his ground, because if he stayed in there, then she would have won, because her whole thing is that she was talking about is that he doesn't have his own opinion, he doesn't make his own choices. So by him going out there and being like, don't make decisions about my life for me, I'm going to continue my education, but I'm going to do it on my own terms.
But why doesn't he just do that? He could just do that. He doesn't need. He doesn't need her to do that. My point is, it's still wrapped up in like it's both trying to like. It'll depend on how it goes, because if she comes around and is a good person for despite her having zero positive qualities whatsoever, if she comes around, it's like, oh, it's still my mom, so I need to try. I think that's bullshit, and I think that it's kind of it's voluntarily staying in that cycle that is fucking with him up to this point, which would make sense if it was a part of his character that like it's still a part of him healing there. But I think the idea, I mean, he's always going to be healing from that. Because he's a well-written character. But like, I'm saying I disagree with the story's solution to this, that like she deserves any you know, a part of that whatsoever. I don't think that she's earned any of that. I don't think that and I don't think that it's a healthy takeaway to try and mend that fence if they're not giving any otherwise. I think that it's a lot more healthy to cut out those people if they aren't giving you the time of day at all, if they just completely steamroll over you 100% of the time, they don't care at all about what you think. They, have never once cared and only see you as a tool for their own political ambition in their family. I don't see any positivity that could be gained from that. And maybe that's my, trauma at work there, but that's my perspective. And it's because the story is about healing those relationships and sort of moving past that and growing from it in a positive way. And it goes back to kind of what I was saying of like when before when we were talking, like there's not a single like foothold of positivity in this relationship. There's not a single like it's one-way street 100% of the time. She's not doing this at all. We even saw in the backstory, she's not doing this at all for him. It is 100% for her gain within this family. And I'm not even saying it's like a writing problem with the show. I just disagree with that decision, is all I'm saying.
I think with the mom, I think we may get more of her and more of the relationship, because I think with Yuki, like with the whole conversation with Ayame, it was basically like I was the same as you, but I tried to make a difference and he accepted me. And then Yuki going out after her and telling her like, I'm standing my ground, and essentially like, if you want to make a change, then like you kind of saw what happened of like, if you want to try like how Ayame is trying, then I will give you a chance, but I'm not going to let you push me around in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then she goes out and like looks up at the sky and is clearly evaluating her life choices. So
right. Yeah.
So and like with Ayame before, like, he was really shitty to Yuki as well, but he made an effort. So I think it's kind of.
But again, it's like the conflict was there in his past, and we saw him grow and change from that.
I think
what will happen, it'll probably like go like at near the end of the story, we'll like see her and we'll see like there's some positive change in their relationship, or she'll not be as cold to him in the future. But it just like she went from I don't know. Anyway.
I think him being like, oh, she's like so small. It's like she's a very weak person.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, we've seen like this is clearly her coping mechanism, because as we've seen, all of like the moms have serious problems like by their kids being zodiacs. She not only has one kid that's a zodiac, she actually has two. So she basically just like lost the lottery twice really badly. She got like the reverse lottery.
She's trying to win it. Because she sees it as her into
it's like she got screwed over twice, but then tried to work it to her advantage. She had like one child that she just didn't know how to do with at all, and then she had another child that she also didn't know what to do with, but someone else knew what to do with him, so she just kind of said, you can take him and I won't have to deal with him, and I will just live my life. So it's a super horrible and shitty move, but I think that there could be some hope for them in the future. But I think what Yuki did by going to her at the end there wasn't, I think it was being like, you have the option to change towards me, but like I'm done with how it's been. He's
like extending an olive branch. I get it.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, you don't have any opinions and you just make the wrong choices. And it's like, he chose to go to this school. Just because you don't respect that as a choice doesn't mean that he didn't make that choice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't his opinion and what he wanted to do. So that's kind of his way of telling her, like, I do have my own opinions. Just because they're not the same as yours doesn't mean that they're just not, I don't have any. And, just because I haven't been speaking up for you doesn't mean that I haven't thought anything this whole time. And, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if you ever want to change our relationship, then, I'll think about, we'll get to that when we get to it. But it's, I think it was just, I liked it because I felt like it was him showing how much he's grown. He's not just gonna sit in there, let his brother like swoop in and fix all the situation, but not fix anything. And he said something. He didn't just let her walk away and like, think that she was in the right, or think that, not give her something to think about, because clearly she was thinking about it when she's standing out on the deck being like, looking out and she didn't like run away and be like, I'm leaving in my car, She like sat there and thought about it. So, it's a complicated situation.
We're entirely on the same page.
Yeah.
And the whole show is about healing. Like I said, it's all about like learning to grow, and it's hopeful. So what I'm introducing here is what I was kind of introducing during the beach arc, where it's like all the solutions, despite the feelings that they're having are very complex and conflicted, and how they both feel attached to these things and put down by them, but also want to make them better, but feel completely at a loss and feel completely lost and alone, but still feeling like they have some sort of obligation here. That feeling, I think it's really worth exploring, and I feel like the show does a really good job at exploring the feelings, but the solution is the same always. There's as far as I can tell, there has not been a single deviation from the core idea, and to me that lack of variation tilts it from a realistic portrayal of abuse to a more idealistic one, which is okay. I would just prefer if there was a single time where somebody was able to grow and put it behind them and continue to grow as a person, rather than grow and then immediately go back to that toxic relationship and try to repair it despite every sign on a realistic and in terms of your own health and personal safety, telling you that you should move on. I think that some sort of representation towards what I would recommend in this particular situation to somebody if I knew they were going through it in real life, which is to stop listening to this toxic shitbag who just wants to use you as a literal tool, unless there's some kind of crazy anime side plot twist where she's actually a good person all along and protecting him from the worst of it. Doesn't seem likely to me, but regardless. But the solution at sometimes is very inspirational and realistic, but it's not always like that. It's not always fixable. And I feel like if I have one thing, like if there's one relationship like that is just like, this cannot be fixed, maybe Akito, maybe that'll be it. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I feel like Akito I wouldn't like, because Akito seems very much like a product of this world. He's still a kid at the end of the day. He's the same age as the rest of them, so like, yeah. I feel like him being that one unchangeable factor would be like, I feel like that wouldn't fit as much. Maybe we'll see when it comes. Maybe I'm I don't want to set too many expectations.
No, I agree, and I know what you're saying, that it would be nice to have some variation, but then again, at the same time, if the author is like,
they're honing in on
the idea,
yeah, exactly.
So then it's like, you don't want to have something that's going to deviate from that and maybe like make the story feel less cohesive and less like it's moving towards the point where like the ultimate evil guy, Akito, is going to get saved by the same thing that has saved everyone else along the way. And it's like, you don't fix things, like you can, in some cases you can like end the cycle or fix things by cutting someone out. And then in other ways, it's like through love. And this show is clearly about, I do think that possibly in a different show that had like a similar subject matter, but maybe less of that, like, building towards that. I think I would agree that it would be really nice to have that, like, this is unforgivable. And like, for my I'm putting myself first.
To me, like, unforgivable is an interesting word. That's not what I know that's not what but people are going to think based on what you said, that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's unforgivable. Everybody has their own circumstances. I'm not saying that we know everything about her or that there isn't any glimmer of love. But the unfortunate thing about complicated relationships like this, as it pertains to reality, is that at a certain point for your own well-being, it doesn't matter what conflict they're going through. You need to put yourself first. And it's kind of like what Yuki's struggle has been with up to this point, and that's, I guess, where it kind of comes from for me. Where Yuki, we just had 2 episodes where it's all about, like, is it okay to put myself first? Is it okay to, like, actually, think about myself before I think about others? And then the solution to this ended up with, I still need to think about my mom despite everything that she's done to me, despite everything. And it doesn't, like, at some point, it doesn't matter what other people are going through. If you're struggling yourself, you need to secure the mask on yourself before you put it on your child. So if he was fully confident, and maybe again, they streamlined a lot of things with this relationship as far as this episode is concerned. So the fact that the idea that he could have matured in that moment. I think it was a big character breakthrough. And I get how it's all cohesive and it is all working towards it is. So it's not even like a complaint with the show, like as far as a writing thing, because the show has been very clear with like what it's trying to do, what it wants to do, and how and what it is doing to make its themes come through and work together towards an end goal. And it's fully understandable. It's just us if I'm examining it, like, you know, taking it as a serious relationship, I disagree with with the way this story was used to add to that, because it's like I said, it's a difficult thing. It's just my opinion on this kind of relationship, I guess.
Yeah, just in a different situation, or in a in a different like what could have been a different take on this same situation. Yeah,
I'm not even against him trying to, like, yeah, it's like I said, I'm not against this resolution or this sort of moving forward with him trying to extend that olive branch. Again, it fits with the story. And even in real life, it's not like you sometimes, some people, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can like cut people out like that. But it would be, in real life, it would be what's best for him, I'm sorry to say. But, you know, some people can't do that. Some people want to try and do that. And that's perfectly fine as well, as long as you are confident enough in yourself and in the life that you've built for yourself to return to that sort of armored up, ready to go, boundaries set, etc., and do that. And that's kind of what they did. But again, it was fast-tracked, is what I was trying to say. Like, they fast-tracked that part of it. So in a way, it is realistic if that's the kind of route that you want to take. I'm personally of the opinion that nobody should take that route with that kind of a person. That's a really fucked up, terrible thing to do to your child. The end.
The end.
Next one. So you named one kid Momo and the next Momiji? Or one
Other
kid
way around.
Momiji and another kid Momo?
I mean,
That's
maybe
not
the
great.
wife did it because she doesn't remember Momiji.
Oh,
so
that's
but she
probably
probably
true.
liked the name.
That's probably exactly what happened.
That's extra messed up. Because then the husband couldn't be like, no, we already named our other kid basically that.
Extra like he doesn't exist.
If that's what he's really like, I don't want him. If he's a real person with multiple sides to his personality, don't want him.
Toru's stealth mission.
She's covered in dirt.
Who was that?
I don't know. Creepy though.
Yeah, because you guys really want to call the police with what you
They
got
have
going
their
on
own
here.
police.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't call the police now that she's brought up that teenager that I was rizzing up at the convenience store. You should leave now. I have a family.
Here, take $1,000. Don't tell it. Because I'm Akito's bitch.
This is bad. Now you're putting her in danger, because
Yeah.
Akito's gonna find this slip of paper, and it's gonna be really rough. He's standing right there.
The gardener?
What the fuck? Hang on.
I like that episode. That's so sad. I love like revisiting Momoji's story with his sister and his mom and stuff, because that was set up so long ago. And it just seemed like such a terrible plan from the get-go of like, oh, you're still gonna be my kid, but like my wife and your sister won't know about you. So it's gonna be like super suspicious, but I'm not gonna cut you out of my life. I'm just gonna like completely sideline you. You can tell from the start that it's just like a really dumb, and like there's like zero forethought with that plan whatsoever. And then here we're seeing like the kind of the natural consequences of it, of the dad like brings Momiji around and like lets him come to his office building and stuff, and then his daughter, like Momoji's sister, just sees him and is immediately like, oh, that guy literally, like, if I was to have a brother, it would look exactly like that guy who hangs around my dad's office and looks exactly like my mom, and, you know, whatever. But I think it's just really nice because she doesn't even know anything about it, but she just looks up to him and is so inspired by him, and seemingly decided to play violin because of him, but didn't know that doing that would, like, you know, make his dad take Momiji away to a different teacher. Which is really sad and also just really dumb, because I feel like he could have just arranged it so that they would be on different days, so that she wouldn't see him at like they wouldn't have back-to-back lessons or like see each other there, you know? It's just too bad.
Yeah.
And Momoji's so good, always caring about Tohru and wanting to help her out and protect her, and really scared of what Akito's gonna do to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the other plot of this story, I'm just like, it's like I don't ship them at all. So it's like either I have to just be like, okay, I don't care about it, or I can be like, he's not 30. We'll make him like 18 or 19. There. He just seems like a businessman because, you know, that's just how it is. But yeah, that's the only way I can allow for it.
Yeah.
I also love Tohru just like scrabbling around in the dirt, running away, and then she's just like buries the thing and it's like, yeah. I'll put this here.
Here, take this. Or not. I'll put it here then. Yeah.
I think it's because he was like, I don't want it, so she was like, I'll put it here, and then when we see it at the end, it's like, oh, he went and like dug it up. But it's just so pathetic looking. And then I left her and Kyou at the end on the roof, just hanging out like old times. Very nice.
And he also said, like, he'll be there to help her. But I don't know what he means by that. Does he just mean that he's resolved to try and not be confined? Or is he lying? Or is he one of those two things?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I guess it could be either he just knows he's gonna be confined, accepts that, but like still wants to be supportive of her still, or like, you know, obviously he secretly wants her to fall in love with him and for him to not get confined and for it to just all be a happily ever after, and like he really, really wants that, but also it's just looking more and more unlikely. Every episode it gets brought up how limited time he has and how he's gonna get locked away soon, and it's just all...
Which means he probably won't.
I don't think that he will, because...
well, they wouldn't bring it up constantly if he was actually going to... It's just like, here's what's gonna happen. And it happened. There you go. It's just like, we keep this thing, it's like, the character's gonna die, alright? The character's gonna... And either they'll actually die, but it's like, if it's like, the character will have all agency removed from them, and their arc will not come to fruition.
What if he does get locked up, but then everything gets resolved kind of after that? So it's like a save the princess kind of thing, but Tohru saves him instead. He's all locked away.
Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one, Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.